You didn't find this message by accident. Something pulled you here at this exact moment because deep down you've been feeling it for a long time. The pressure, the confusion, the strange battles nobody understands. You've smiled in front of people while secretly fighting wars in your mind. You've questioned why your journey has been so difficult while others seem to rise so easily. But listen carefully. What if the pain was never punishment? What if every betrayal, every delay, every lonely night was actually preparing you for something greater than you can currently imagine? There is a dangerous trap waiting for chosen people like you, and most never realize it until it's too late. The trap is not failure. It's distraction. It's self-doubt. It's believing that because you are hidden now, you will remain hidden forever. But the truth is this: your life is about to shift in a way nobody around you expects. The reason people misunderstood you is because they could not recognize what heaven placed inside you. Some people laughed at your dreams because your future threatened their comfort. Others walked away because they sensed your transformation before you did. And now suddenly everything is beginning to make sense. The struggles were shaping your spirit. The rejection was protection. The delay was preparation. You are not watching this message randomly. You were guided here because your breakthrough is closer than ever before. But before the doors open, before your name reaches places you never imagined, you must avoid the dangerous trap designed to stop chosen ones at the edge of destiny. Stay with this message until the end, because what you hear today may completely change the way you see your life, your purpose, and the powerful future waiting for you. There is a trap that almost every chosen person falls into before their life changes forever, and the painful part is that most never even recognize it while it's happening. The trap begins quietly. It starts after disappointment, after betrayal, after unanswered prayers, after months or even years of feeling invisible. You slowly begin questioning yourself. You stop trusting your gifts. You compare your journey to people who never carried your assignment. You convince yourself that maybe your dreams were too big, maybe your voice was not important, maybe you were never meant to rise at all. That is the dangerous trap, not failure, but surrendering your belief right before your breakthrough arrives. The enemy knows something you do not fully understand yet. Once you step into your true purpose, your influence will reach people far beyond your imagination. That is why the attacks became stronger the closer you got to your destiny. Notice how the pressure increased whenever you tried to improve your life. Notice how distractions suddenly appeared when you were becoming disciplined. Notice how fear whispered louder whenever you started believing in yourself again. None of that was random. There are moments when chosen people become emotionally exhausted and begin settling for less simply because waiting became painful. They accept environments that drain them, relationships that weaken them, and thoughts that destroy their confidence. But your spirit has been trying to warn you that you were not created to remain trapped in survival mode forever. You were built for impact. You were built to inspire. You were built to rise after every attempt to break you. And right now, at this very moment, your greatest responsibility is to protect your mind from the lie that nothing is changing, because behind the scenes, your entire life is already beginning to move in a new direction. There are people who secretly fear your future more than you fear your own struggles, and that truth explains many of the battles you have faced. Sometimes you wondered why certain individuals became cold toward you for no reason. You questioned why people resisted supporting you even when you showed them kindness. You tried to understand why your presence made some people uncomfortable, even when you stayed silent and minded your own business. What you did not realize is that some people can sense greatness before the person carrying it fully awakens to it. There is something different about your energy, your resilience, and the way you continue surviving situations that should have destroyed you. While others gave up after one setback, you kept moving forward despite the pain. That strength threatens people who secretly settled for less in their own lives. The moment someone notices that you refuse to break, they begin realizing that your future may become bigger than they expected, and not everyone can celebrate a destiny they cannot control. This is why attacks often come from unexpected places. Jealousy does not always appear as hatred. Sometimes it appears as discouragement, silence, mockery, or constant attempts to make you doubt yourself. Certain people wanted you to stay small because your growth reminds them of their own fears and limitations. But listen carefully. Their resistance is not proof that you are weak. It is evidence that your life carries influence. Nobody fights over something worthless. Nobody spends energy trying to stop a person with no purpose. The pressure surrounding your life is confirmation that your breakthrough carries weight. The enemy often sends fear through people around you because he knows that once you fully recognize your value, your confidence will become unstoppable. And when that confidence awakens completely, the same people who ignored you will suddenly wonder how you rose so high after everything designed to hold you down failed to destroy you. Long before people misunderstood you, rejected you, or underestimated your potential, there was already a purpose placed on your life that could not be erased. You were not chosen because you were perfect. You were chosen because you were different. Since childhood, you probably felt things more deeply than others. You noticed energy that nobody else paid attention to. You questioned things most people blindly accepted. Even when you tried fitting in, something inside you always reminded you that you were meant for more than ordinary living. That feeling was not imagination. It was the sign that your life carried an assignment long before you understood it yourself. Chosen people often go through seasons of confusion because their spirit recognizes greatness before their mind can explain it. That is why your path has felt lonely at times. You were never designed to follow crowds that were comfortable staying asleep. Every painful lesson, every betrayal, every closed door was shaping your discernment and preparing your spirit for the level you are about to enter. Many people think being chosen means life becomes easy, but the truth is the opposite. A chosen life attracts resistance because your future threatens darkness. There were moments when you almost gave up completely. Moments when exhaustion made you question whether your purpose was real. Yet somehow, every time life tried to bury you, something lifted you back up again. That was not luck. That was protection over your destiny. There is a reason you survived things that should have broken you emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. Your survival itself is a sign. You are still here because your assignment is not finished. The world has not yet seen the full power of what was placed inside you. Right now, even in silence, your spirit is being prepared for recognition, influence, and opportunities that will shock the people who assumed your story was over before it truly began. One of the hardest parts of being chosen is enduring seasons of isolation that make you feel forgotten while heaven is actually preparing you for elevation. There were moments when it seemed like everyone else was moving forward while your life stood still. People disappeared, invitations stopped coming, support became rare, and suddenly you found yourself alone with your thoughts more than ever before. At first, it felt painful. You wondered if something was wrong with you. You questioned why certain connections ended so suddenly and why distance kept growing between you and the people you once trusted. But what you called isolation was often divine separation. Some people could not go where your future was taking you. Certain environments had to lose access to you because they were draining the strength needed for your next season. Isolation is uncomfortable because it forces you to face yourself without distractions. It reveals wounds you ignored, fears you buried, and gifts you never fully developed. During those lonely moments, your character was being strengthened in ways public recognition could never accomplish. While others were chasing attention, you were being built in private. While others depended on validation, you were learning endurance. The hidden season was never punishment, it was preparation. Every successful person who carries true influence experiences a period where nobody understands what they are becoming. The reason your life feels different now is because you are approaching the end of that hidden chapter. The same silence that once frustrated you has been sharpening your vision. The same loneliness that once hurt you has been teaching you discernment. Soon the doors that remained closed for years will begin opening one after another, and people who ignored you will suddenly notice your transformation. But the most powerful part is this. When your moment arrives, you will not be destroyed by fame, attention, or influence, because isolation already taught you how to survive without applause. And that lesson is what makes chosen people truly unstoppable when the world finally discovers who they are. Right before a chosen person steps into a higher level of purpose, a dangerous distraction almost always appears to pull them away from their destiny. This distraction rarely looks harmful in the beginning. Sometimes it comes as the wrong relationship, a temporary comfort, old habits returning, toxic environments reopening their doors, or sudden opportunities that seem exciting but quietly lead you away from your assignment. The enemy understands that if he cannot destroy your future directly, he only needs to delay it long enough for you to lose focus. That is why many chosen people become spiritually and emotionally attacked when they are closest to transformation. You may have noticed yourself feeling unusually tired lately, struggling to stay motivated, or constantly battling thoughts that make you question your value and purpose. Those feelings are not random. Distraction often enters through exhaustion because exhausted people make emotional decisions they would normally avoid. The danger is not always obvious failure. Sometimes the real danger is becoming comfortable in places that no longer align with who you are becoming. There are people assigned to drain your confidence, conversations assigned to weaken your vision, and habits assigned to keep your mind trapped in survival mode. The closer you get to your breakthrough, the more important it becomes to guard your peace, your focus, and your spiritual clarity. Many people lose their greatest opportunities because they entertained distractions at the wrong moment. They allowed temporary emotions to sabotage permanent blessings. But something inside you is waking up now. You are beginning to recognize what no longer belongs in your life. You are starting to understand why certain doors had to close and why certain people had to leave. Your future requires a stronger version of you, and strength demands discipline. The reason this message found you today is because your spirit needed a reminder that not everything calling your attention deserves your energy. Some distractions are carefully designed tests appearing before your elevation, and the choices you make in this season will determine whether you repeat old cycles or finally walk into the powerful destiny waiting for you. There comes a moment in every chosen person's life when everything begins shifting at once, and although it feels sudden to everyone else, the truth is that the transformation was being built quietly behind the scenes for years. The pain, the waiting, the unanswered questions, the nights you cried in silence, and the battles nobody knew you were fighting were all preparing you for this final shift. You are entering a season where clarity will replace confusion, confidence will replace fear, and purpose will replace survival. For a long time, you may have felt stuck, like your life was moving slower than everyone around you. You watched people celebrate opportunities while you struggled just to keep believing in yourself. But delays are not denials when destiny is involved. Some blessings take longer because they are connected to a larger purpose than you can currently see. What is happening now is bigger than a temporary breakthrough. Your entire mindset is changing. You are beginning to see yourself differently. The things that once broke you emotionally no longer have the same power over your spirit. You are becoming stronger, wiser, and more aware of your worth. That is the final shift. Before elevation becomes visible in your outer world, it first happens inside your mind and soul. The reason you can no longer tolerate negativity, fake connections, or environments that drain your energy is because your spirit recognizes that you are stepping into a new chapter. Chosen people always feel uncomfortable right before transformation because their old identity can no longer contain the person they are becoming. Very soon, opportunities will appear that once seemed impossible. Doors will open without struggle. The same people who doubted you will watch your life change in ways they never expected. But none of it will happen by accident. It will happen because you survived the seasons designed to prepare you for this moment. And now the version of you that almost gave up is finally about to witness why you had to endure everything that tried to break you. The truth is, this message was never just about fear, pain, betrayal, or the battles you faced in silence. It was about awakening you to the reality that your life carries purpose far greater than the struggles trying to stop you. Every attack you survived, every lonely season you endured, and every moment you nearly gave up was shaping you into the person you were always meant to become. The dangerous trap was never designed to destroy ordinary people. It was designed to stop chosen ones before they discovered their true power. But despite everything that tried to break your spirit, you are still standing. That means your story is not over. In fact, it is only beginning. The isolation taught you strength. The rejection taught you discernment. The delays taught you patience, and now the final shift is preparing you for recognition, elevation, and opportunities that will completely change your life. One day, people will look at your journey and never fully understand how you survived everything that came against you. They will see the success, the confidence, the influence, and the breakthrough, but only you will remember the hidden battles that built the strength inside you. Never again believe the lie that your life has no meaning. Never again shrink yourself to fit into environments that were too small for your destiny. You were created to rise, to inspire, and to become proof that even the most broken seasons can lead to powerful transformations. And as this message comes to an end, remember this carefully. The reason the pressure became heavier is because your breakthrough became closer. The reason the attacks increased is because your future carries weight. And the reason you found this message today is because deep down, your spirit already knows that the next chapter of your life will be unlike anything you have experienced before. Stay focused, protect your peace, trust the process, and prepare yourself, because the world is about to witness what happens when a chosen one finally stops doubting who they were always meant to be.